Doubt.
Doubt?
Mataji.
What else did you see on the poster?
Lamentation, Mataji.
Partiality, indiscriminate affection.
Lamentation is the right answer. Lamentation is the right answer. Just 1 second. Okay. So yes, lamentation. So the nice way to remember, the most important takeaway for us from chapter 1 is Arjuna is lamenting. Lamenting means complaining, feeling down and out, feeling stressed out. And now Krishna has to step into the picture. And that's where we are going to come to chapter 2. So let's look at chapter 2. So this is the overall summary of chapter 2. Within the first 10 shlokas, what happens is that Arjuna is taking the first step of surrender. Now we'll understand, when do we actually surrender? Under what circumstances will we surrender? Should we surrender without thinking at all? Or should we surrender only in certain circumstances when we are helpless? What is this concept of surrender? So Arjuna is confused. And when you're confused, it is easier to seek help. When everything is going well in life, you don't need anybody's advice because everything is going fine, or so you think. So the only time you reach out to others for help is when you're in a situation which is very, very confusing. So Krishna is going to teach Atma Jnana. That's the first lesson Krishna is establishing for Arjuna, which is, what is this Atma Jnana? And then Krishna is going to talk to Arjuna about 2 different types of duties all of us have. What are these duties? We will discover in the upcoming slides. So all of us must perform 2 duties. And as we said, the formula for lasting happiness is being given by Krishna for all of us, irrespective of which varna, which ashrama you are part of. You are learning about this lasting happiness in this particular chapter. So surrender. What does this word surrender mean? So can some of you all raise your hand? What is your understanding of the word surrender? What does it mean? What does surrender mean? Why should we surrender to anybody else? We have our independence. We have a free will. Why should we surrender? Yes, Mangala Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, sometimes we were mentioning, no, Mataji, then situations are beyond our control. Sometimes we surrender, Mataji.
Yes. So is that the only time we should surrender?
No, I'm just giving one example. But yes, after coming to Krishna conscious, we understood that 24 hours we have to depend on Krishna.
24 hours we have to surrender. That is correct. You should not surrender only when you have a problem. But that's a starting point, correct? It's a good starting point.
Yes.
Yes, Vinay ji, you have a thought about surrender. What do you think surrender means?
Surrender without expectation. We have to give what they want. Suppose the best example is mother and child love. Mother will be surrendered to child emotions. Every emotion, she did not expect anything, but she offered everything. Even Hanuman also to Ram, without expectation, he served everything. That is my understanding, Mataji.
Beautiful. I love that understanding. So that means you surrender to Krishna without any expectations. That is the true meaning of surrender. And yes, somebody is saying here, surrender means going in with an open mind. Okay, yeah, could be. That's the beginning stage of surrender, is where you're open to hear solutions from others. So yes, you could say that's the starting point also of surrender. So here, what are we seeing here? Here we are seeing that Arjuna is beginning to surrender to Krishna because he's in such a confused state of mind. He does not know what to do. So in this particular shloka, Arjuna says, Karpanya dosho pahata svabhavaha pritchami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha yachreyasyan nischitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. So Arjuna is telling Krishna, hey Krishna, I'm confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I'm asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So the beginning of surrender begins with second, that you don't know what is the solution to the situation. So therefore, Arjuna is saying, this is my miserly weakness. So Arjuna is acknowledging, I am weak. Not physically. Mentally, he's not sure what decision is the right decision to take. Secondly, he's acknowledging that he does not know what is the duty for him. How can he not know the duty? Has Arjuna not fought wars before? He never had this issue before. Now why all of a sudden he has fought Duryodhana before? He has fought Dronacharya. He's fought Bhishmadev. Single-handedly he defeated them in the Virata war. So why all of a sudden he is having such a conflicting state of mind? It's because he couldn't accept the fact that he may have to kill his loved ones to establish dharma. So hence he's telling Krishna, in this condition of confusion, can you tell me what is the right thing to do? Because you are the Lord of all dharma, you are the Lord of religion itself. Therefore, Arjuna is saying, hey Krishna, I'm your disciple now, and I'm surrendering myself to you. But the actual surrender will only happen in the 18th chapter. Here it is just vocal surrender, Completely agreeing to obey Krishna only happens in the 18th chapter. So that is complete surrender. So Arjuna may not know what is the outcome going to be, but he has to have faith and trust in Krishna that whatever Krishna says will always be in his best interest, and therefore he has to surrender. So, but that surrender begins with acknowledging that I'm in trouble. I'm weak. So only when you perceive yourself to be in a weak situation will you seek refuge. So typically, when we are in a difficult situation, we don't seek refuge of the Lord. First, we approach our family members, our friends, whoever, and ask them for advice. Because we think they have the answers. Actually, they may not have the answers because they will just tell you what they may be feeling is the right thing to do. But how do you know what is shastrically the right answer? That can only come from an acharya, from guru, from sadhu sangha. Therefore, even when we are in difficult situations, the Lord is not there right in front of us where we can have a verbal conversation with him. Therefore, how do we find the answers? By seeking refuge in guru, sadhu, shastra. This is a triangulation. Whatever guru says has to be mentioned in the shastra. The guru cannot tell you anything that is not there in the shastra. So the sadhu will also reflect what is there in the Shastra. And Shastra is coming from the lips of the Lord himself. So earlier, the relationship between Arjuna and Krishna was one of friendship. But now, because he's in a desperate situation, the relationship changes to guru and disciple, although Krishna has apparently taken a subservient position as a charioteer to Arjuna. Nevertheless, it is clear that Krishna is in the position of guru. So wisdom flows from the guru to the disciple. And yes, along the way, the disciple may have a lot of doubts. The disciple may have a lot of questions. The disciple may not even agree with what the guru is saying. So when the disciple doesn't agree with what the guru is saying, how does the disciple pose a question to get a deeper understanding without offending the guru? So similarly for us, life will put us in a lot of bewildering situations. We may not have the solutions to all of the problems that we are facing in our life. And therefore, we should seek the shelter of exalted acharyas like Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, who has written such beautiful commentary on the Bhagavad Gita that one cannot go wrong by reading this commentary and making a transformative leap in our spiritual life. So let us say, for example, a music teacher is approached by two different students. Just 1 second. So let's say two students approach a teacher. And one of the student has already learned a musical instrument and he's coming for advanced classes. And another student is brand new. He has not learned anything. So when the teacher speaks to the two students, the teacher tells the student who has a lot of experience that your fees are 3,000. And then the teacher tells the student who has no experience, your fees is 1,000. Now, logically, this does not make sense. Why do you think the teacher would charge different rates to different students, especially for the advanced student? Why would he charge a higher rate? What's your answer for this?
Mataji, the student who's going to learn is going to learn from the beginning for 1,000 rupees, and for the student who's already learned has to relearn. He has to he has to not remember what he's learned before. He has to start from the beginning. So he has to work more on the other students.
Right. Sunanda Mataji, you had something you wanted to say? Sunanda? Okay, we're not able to hear you in case you're speaking. So yes, that's right. Sometimes we think we know so much. How much can the teacher teach us? He can only supplement our learning. We don't recognize that when it comes to spiritual matters, we think we know a lot, but actually we have to unlearn a lot of things before we can actually learn what is right. So similarly, in this journey over the next 18 days, 20 days that we will go through, you may also have to keep an open mind. Somebody rightly said, surrender means keeping an open mind. So you have to keep an open mind about what is right and what is wrong. Because you may have come to the conclusion based on your own notion of what is right and wrong, but Shastra may have a different viewpoint or a different opinion. So we have to be ready to accept the learnings from Bhagavad Gita with an open mind. So let's come back to the slide. So we talked about Atma Gyan. So an ideal student will always say, I don't know anything. I'm ready to hear from you. Please teach me. Yeah. So in this Atma Gyan section, Krishna begins to speak. But let us see what is the shloka here. Here Krishna is saying, Ashocyan anvashochastvam prajna vadanscha bhashase gadasuna gatasumscha nanushocanti panditaha. You recognize how this verse begins? Earlier it was Dhritarashtra Uvacha, Sanjaya Uvacha. Here it is not Krishna Uvacha. What is the title? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Why Vyasadev is not putting Krishna Uvacha? Can anybody tell? What's the reason Vyasadev is not using Krishna's name? Whereas for all the other personalities, he's using their names.
It is because Krishna is trying to be the guru here and he's trying to give the knowledge to Arjuna. That's why it is Bhagavan Vacha, because he's giving the knowledge.
Very good. So yes, Krishna is giving knowledge. What other reason? Padmavati Mataji or Padma Shri Mataji or Pavitra Shri?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Here I feel that Lord Krishna himself, he is giving Gyan to Arjun and
Yes.
explaining each and every little thing. So that is the reason the sage hasn't used Lord Krishna's name.
Okay, all right. Similar to the earlier answer. Yes, Vinay, do you have a different viewpoint?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Actually, even Vedavyasa also have a lot of confusion before Krishna as Jagat Guru. Once he
Yes.
has his disciples ask about multi-goddess are there, how to whom we have to preach, like that. Disciples asked to Vedavyasa, means his father told one beautiful shloka, Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yasashchaivaha gnana vairagyashchaivaha bhagavata tinjinaha. Means Krishna has the 6 opulences, which is the most only achieves to that God only. So he is as a Jagat Guru. Generally, we can't call our father names directly. Father only we can say.
Ah,
That is the main intention Vedavyasa used as Bhagavan. I think so. That one that I am
very
feeling,
good.
Mataji.
Yes, excellent.
Thank you,
Because
Mataji.
Krishna is the Supreme Lord himself. He cannot have that familiarity of calling him Krishna. But have you noticed? Arjuna calls Krishna Krishna.
Yes,
Arjuna
that is,
doesn't say, hey Bhagwan, hey Bhagwan, hey Bhagwan. Correct? What's the reason for that?
yes, Mataji. That is personal intimacy. Sometimes because of closest friend, even though he is an elder, also we can use by calling name. I am thinking, Mataji. If I am wrong, means please correct me.
Yeah. No, you're right. It is the intimate relationship that allows you to call Bhagavan as Krishna. Because you have such a close relationship with him.
Correct.
But if you go to the Prime Minister, will you call him Narendra or Damodar or Modi? You will
I think
refer to him by his title, correct?
exactly,
You will say
Mataji. But
Pradhan Mantri.
in Vishwarupa Sandarshana Yoga, Arjuna completely surrendered. Then he see the direct opulences from Krishna. Then he used Bhagavan from there onwards. In the Vishwarupa Sandarshana Yoga, after he completely surrendered.
For a few shlokas.
Yes, Mataji.
Correct, yes. He's scared because the
Yes,
relationship changed suddenly. Yes.
Correct, Mataji.
So very good points. Thank you. Wonderful points. Yes. So
Thank you.
Vyasadeva is acknowledging that he has heard from his father Parashara Muni that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So you can see that Prabhupada defines Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even Prabhupada is not saying Bhagavan Krishna or Sri Krishna. He is using Krishna's title. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, meaning there is nobody higher or equal to Lord Krishna. Hence, Sri Bhagavanu vacha. Yeah. So, what is Krishna here? Krishna is saying, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. So first, Krishna is giving one verbal slap to Arjuna. He's saying, hey, Arjuna. Of course, Krishna is also speaking like a friend right now. Acha, so you think you're such a great jnani. Actually, whatever you're saying does not even make sense to me. You're not a very wise person, because if you are a wise person, you will not be talking like this. So only friends can talk to each other like this. But the verbal slap will get a little bit more harsh in a couple of shlokas. Right? Krishna will criticize Arjuna for his decision-making process or for his thought process in the second chapter. He will tell him, you're not speaking like an Aryan, you're not demonstrating that you're an Aryan, you're not showing that you're a Kshatriya. You know, what has happened to you? You know, this is how Krishna speaks. So then Krishna begins the actual lesson now. So Krishna begins by telling Arjuna, Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi dhiras tatra namuhyati. So the first instruction to Arjuna is, as the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. So how does Krishna begin this? Krishna is now teaching. The relationship has now changed. Krishna is the guru, Arjuna is the disciple, and repeatedly Krishna will say, hear carefully, listen carefully. So Krishna is encouraging Arjuna. If you pay attention, right? A lot of times you can be in class and your mind can be elsewhere. So you pay attention, be very careful, be attentive in your listening. And if you're attentive in your listening, you will be benefited in so many different ways. Yes. So in this particular Atma Gyan, Krishna is revealing the basic truth about this body that we are occupying. And the truth is that we all have two types of material bodies. One is the external covering called the gross body, which is your skin, your bones, the blood, tissue. All of this is your gross body. It is made of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Ether is space, akasha. We also have another body that we're carrying with us. That body is called the subtle body. Why is it called subtle? Because you can't see it. But just because you can't see it doesn't mean it does not exist. We all know we have a mind. We all know we have intelligence because we are utilizing our intelligence and our mind to make so many decisions. And along with the subtle body is the covered ego. Ego in its original state is pure in its relationship with Krishna. But when that ego gets separated from Krishna, then it becomes contaminated. This contaminated ego is called the false ego. So we have two types of bodies. Sukshma Sharira and Sthula Sharira. So Sthula Sharira is the gross body. Sukshma Sharira is the subtle body. And we have the soul. So when you die, you are giving up this body, this gross body, to take on another gross body. That means at the time of death, something important is happening. You have to give up your physical body. You have not yet given up your subtle body. So when you die, your mind is going with you. Who's the you? That's the soul. Your intelligence is traveling with you. All your desires, unfulfilled desires, and all your karmic reactions are traveling with you until the soul gets a new body. So when the soul enters the new body, then in that new body, you are carrying your mind, intellect, and false ego. So this is the first step and the first revelation. And the teacher is always going to speak the truth. So we need not doubt what Krishna is saying. How do we know that this body is separate from us? In a very simple example, right? I don't say I hand, I leg, I eyes, I ears, I home, I car. We say my hand. That means this hand belongs to me. My leg. This leg belongs to me. My eyes, my ears, my home, my car. So who is this my? It is this Atma. So this false ego is thinking, this hand is mine, this leg is mine, eyes is mine, ears is mine. Whereas we say, I am a baby, or I am a boy. I am a father. I am a grandfather, a grandmother. So through this, we know, just the way in which we speak itself says, we know that we are not this body, that we are the spirit soul. And we also seem to understand that we have a temporary body. There is a nice set of shlokas that I was reading in Canto 2 of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in Canto 2, there is a two words that are used. Sorry, I'm going to sidetrack a little bit and I'll come back. There are two words that are used. Grihastha and Grihamedi. Now, we all use the term Grihastha without truly understanding what it really means. So as per Srimad Bhagavatam and Shukadev Goswami, a Grihastha is someone who is leading a married life and who has God in the center. The other term that is used is Grahamedi. And he is telling Parikshit Maharaj, what is the symptoms of a Grahamedi? A Grahamedi is someone who is also married, but they're not technically in the Grihastha ashram, because the word Grihastha can only be used if you put God in the center of your life. If God is not part of your life, then the correct term to use for that married couple or that family will be Grahamedi. Why? Because the word Medhi means envious. A Grahamedi is envious. They get attached to, it's a beautiful term used by Shukadev Goswami, which is translated in English as infallible or fallible soldiers. The fallible soldiers like the body, the child, the wife, the family. These people will not protect you. Ultimately, only Krishna will protect you. So the Grahamedis are taking protection and shelter of those things that are not permanent. And therefore, they will always fail. So he says, Grahamedis do not search for the eternal truth because they don't have Atma Jnana. So first thing Krishna has to do is, he has to establish Atma Jnana. When the soul or the Jivatma understands Atma Jnana, then you can start leading a Grihastha life. Until then, you are actually a Grahamedi. Because you really don't know what is right, what is wrong. You are just leading your life the way you see fit. Right? So hence, Atma Gyan becomes so important. So Krishna is saying, hey Arjuna, you are not this body. All the kings on the other side, they are not the body. You may think you are killing the body. That's fine. But don't you know that the soul is eternal? Even if they pass away on this battlefield, they are going to pick up another body. Therefore, when you go through difficult times in life, you cannot run away from it. You have to face up to the challenging situations so that you develop your inner navigation skills, your inner strength, spiritual strength. So certainly what is most important is that if situations are tough in your life, you should not commit suicide. Because if you commit suicide, you are making your situation worse. Why? Because the soul has to be trapped in a subtle body for a long time without getting a gross body. So the soul can only be liberated when it also has a gross body so that it can use the gross body in the service of the Lord. If you only have the subtle body with you, the soul feels helpless. So therefore, committing suicide is a big no-no in Vedic culture. It is not accepted at all. So then I have a question for you. So if committing suicide is not accepted, we always hear that the yogis, the great acharyas, attained samadhi. What is the difference between samadhi and committing suicide? What do you think is the difference?
Mataji, I think attaining samadhi is different from this committing suicide, because the suicide is a forceful way of taking our own life, and samadhi is like a wishful way to reach the Supreme Lord in that way. Like one wish to attain samadhi as upon their own wish, but coming to the suicide, it is like a forceful act.
Very good. Thank you. Mangala Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, the difference is that yogis who are taking samadhi, they're totally concentrating on Lord Mataji, Lord Krishna.
Yes. When they leave their body, they're actually thinking about Krishna. Whereas a person committing suicide is doing it out of desperation. So if you know, as one of the Matajis rightly said, Krishna is always going to help you if you ask for help. So the yogis are actually meditating on Krishna as they leave their body, which is a wonderful thing. Yes. So that's the difference between the yogis leaving their body, because they also choose to leave their body, but they choose to leave it in such a way that they can actually go back to Krishna. So now we'll come to the section about the two duties Krishna emphasizes for us. And the two duties are Swadharma and Nitya Dharma. So in the 31st shloka of this chapter, Krishna is telling us that all of us have a duty and responsibility on our bodily platform. Even though the body is not permanent, Krishna is not negating the duties that come with it. That's very important. So here Krishna is telling Arjuna, Swadharmam api chavekshya navikampitum arhasi dharmya dhiyuddhat shreyonyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. So Krishna is talking to Arjuna as a kshatriya. He's saying, considering your specific duty as a kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles. And so there is no need for hesitation. So Krishna has to remind Arjuna, hey Arjuna, don't forget you're a kshatriya. For a kshatriya, fighting is their dharma. And fighting not just for the sake of fighting, fighting to establish or re-establish dharmic principles is the first duty of a kshatriya. Therefore, Arjuna, he's saying, don't hesitate at all. Fight. Don't worry about this problem, that problem. I'm compassionate. I have to take so many sins. No. Your duty as a kshatriya, your foremost duty is to establish dharma, to protect dharma. Therefore, without hesitation, even if it is your grandfather, your guru on the other side, if they happen to be on the wrong side, they're on the wrong side. So, Krishna is not telling Arjuna, I agree with you. Violence is not a good thing. You run away to the forest, I'll take care of everything. Now, Krishna is saying, no, you have to do your duty as a Kshatriya. You can't just lay down your bow and arrow and say, Krishna, I can't fight. Govinda, I will not fight. No, Krishna is not accepting this at all from Arjuna. So that is, first thing that is established is dharma is based on varna and ashrama. Each varna has its own dharma, each ashrama has its own dharma. So all these dharmas are your various ID cards. So one ID card Arjuna is wearing is, I'm a Kshatriya. Another ID card he is wearing is, I am Atma. I'm not this body. So which is it? Am I the body or am I Atma? Because Krishna is clearly telling him, even based on the body, you have duties and responsibilities. So now stepping beyond that to what is Nitya Dharma or Sanatana Dharma, Krishna is telling Arjuna, the 51st shloka, Karmajam buddhi yuktahi phalam tyaktva manishinaha janma bandha vinirmuktaha padam gachyantyanāmayam. By thus engaging in devotional service to the Lord, great sages or devotees free themselves from the results of work in the material world. In this way, they become free from the cycle of birth and death and attain the state beyond all miseries. And Prabhupada is adding, by going back to Godhead. So now Krishna is also establishing for Arjuna, you are a Kshatriya, you have to fight. You don't have a choice. Even if you tell me you're my greatest devotee, I will not excuse you from your duties and responsibilities. You can't tell Krishna, Krishna, but I am your good devotee. No, please excuse me. No, sir. You please go do your duty and responsibility. But in addition, Krishna is saying that one more dharma, Arjuna, that you cannot forget. Actually, in this section, Krishna is talking about the dhiras, the dridavratas, who are really fixed up in what is their duty in life. So if you are fixed up on what is your real duty in life, what will you be doing? You will be doing devotional services to the Lord. And Krishna is saying, I'm not talking about myself. History tells you that there are great devotees of mine who were fixed up in Krishna consciousness. And there are great devotees of mine, great sages of mine, who freed themselves from the results of work in the material world by performing devotional service. To whom? To Krishna. Now the question is, can you do both? Can Arjuna be a Kshatriya? Can he also be a devotee of Krishna? Is that possible? What do you think? Can Arjuna perform his duties as a Kshatriya and simultaneously also be a devotee of Krishna?
Yes, Mataji, it's possible.
Yes. Okay. Is it easy?
Because we have two duties. One is body duty and another one is soul duty. Soul duty is like worshipping God, and the body duties also should be balanced.
Very nice. So of the two duties, which is a priority for Krishna? Worshipping him?
So worshipping is the main. So
Worshipping
the
him
soul
is the
duty
main.
is the must thing. But we need to balance both the duties to what we can say. That is like a karma.
Yes. So
So
if
one has to
worshipping
follow the
was the main duty, why Krishna did not allow Arjuna to go to the forest and do just only meditation on him? Why?
because it's already written. It is already written by him that he has to do this work.
Hmm.
So it's like it is his duty.
Correct. So
One
that
has to do their
means,
duties perfectly.
yes, very
Whatever
good.
the job or the role it may be. They have
That
to
is
follow that.
exactly the topic of chapter 3. So that means Krishna does not approve of anyone giving up their duties and responsibilities based on their body, whether your husband, wife, daughter, son, grandson, father, mother. These duties you cannot give up. And Krishna will not accept it if you give it up. That means becoming a sannyasi is not an option for the majority of us. Because if all of us become sannyasis, what will happen to society? It will not survive. So that is why we said the entire Bhagavad Gita is actually directed towards grahasthas only. How to lead a proper life. Nowhere in the Bhagavad Gita is Krishna is saying, relinquish your duty. I will take care of everything because you're my great devotee. Is Arjuna not a great devotee of the Lord? He's a great devotee of the Lord. But did the Lord say, because you're my great devotee, chalta hai, you don't worry, I will take care of everything? No. Krishna is very stern. Just because you're my great devotee doesn't mean you can abandon your duties and responsibilities. So do both. You perform your Sanatana Dharma and you also do your Swadharma. Sanatana Dharma is important because the word Sanatana itself implies that this Dharma of yours is eternal. To worship Krishna is your eternal duty. You can never give up this duty. But all other duties, today you're a Kshatriya, tomorrow you may be somewhere else. Who knows? So your IDs will keep changing every birth, right? There's no guarantee that I will be born in India again. If I take birth again, is there a guarantee that I will be born in India? I could be born in Africa. I could become a tree somewhere. There's no guarantee. So your ID, temporary ID card will keep changing. Krishna is saying, but don't forget, you have a permanent ID card. You and I are related. Don't forget that. And therefore, Sanatana Dharma is important and very important, but not at the cost of Swadharma. Swadharma, one must take care of. Krishna is very clear about this. Yeah? So both, I agree, go hand in hand. But in the process of doing your Swadharma, you should not forget Krishna. If you do that, you are making a mistake, and you'll discover that in chapter 4. Do your Swadharma, but do not forget your Sanatana Dharma. Because even doing your Swadharma is purifying, Krishna says. Even just doing your duty, Krishna is not expecting perfection. Nowhere Krishna says you should be a perfect husband, perfect wife, perfect child, perfect this, perfect that. You should be sincere in performing your duties and responsibilities. Because the word perfection cannot exist even in this material world. Perfection only exists in the spiritual world. Only there you can do your duties perfect for mundane jivatmas. So yes, there is the body, there is the soul. You have duties based on the body. You have duties based on the soul. So we have to balance both. But we cannot compromise one over the other. Certainly you cannot compromise your Sanatana, because then you will be in trouble. So then, what's the formula for lasting happiness? So in here, Krishna is going to tell you how we can reach that eternal stage of happiness even while we are living here. You don't have to wait to go to the spiritual world to experience unlimited happiness, unlimited Satchidananda. You can do that here. How? Prasade sarva dukkhanam hanirasyopajayate prasanna chetaso hyashu buddhif paryavatishthate. Here Krishna is saying, For one thus satisfied in Krishna consciousness, where he's talking about Sanatana Dharma, the threefold miseries of material existence exist no longer. In such satisfied consciousness, one's intelligence is soon well established. This seems like a little bit of a riddle, but let's just understand what this really means. So Krishna is saying, when you are worshipping me, then you will not experience threefold miseries. What are these threefold miseries? Adhyatmik, Adi Bhaudik, and Adi Daivik. These three miseries are defined as those miseries that we inflict upon ourselves due to our decisions, due to our desires, and due to our ignorance. We suffer because of our ignorance. So this is called Adhyatmik. Adi Bhautik. Not only you have to suffer your own ignorance, you also have to suffer at the hands of other jivatmas. Small jivatmas like mosquitoes that cause problems. This is Adi Bhautik. Other jivatmas will also inflict suffering upon you. And then Adi Daivik. The demigods who are in charge of sunshine, rain, weather, crops, growing, not growing. So such kind of suffering is also inflicted on us. In many places, there are heavy rains that have caused flood-like situations. Recently, last week, there was such heavy floods in Texas that more than 200 people, close to 300 people have lost their lives. And out of that, like 60, 70 of them are young children who are attending camp. So this is how we experience suffering on the platform of Adi Daivik, which is the demigods also send us suffering. And the reason for that, we will address it in chapter 4. Why do we experience extremes of weather and all of this? It's because of the Adi Daivik. So Krishna is saying, if you become my devotee, then you will not experience the threefold miseries in the intensity with which perhaps others may be experiencing. Why is that? But Krishna is saying, in such satisfied consciousness, actually what happens is that you develop the resilience to such an extent that you don't experience pain in the same way that others experience pain. You develop immunity to material ups and downs because you are so joyful being a devotee of Krishna that the pains that other mundane people may experience, you will not experience. It's not that you will not be at the mercy of these three miseries. It's just that you have developed spiritual resilience. And when you develop that spiritual resilience, Krishna says, then your intelligence is well established. So, if we learn to do our duty, which is the Sanatana Dharma, with determination and enthusiasm, then Krishna says, you can be happy in this life. And of course, that means you will also be happy in the afterlife, wherever you're going next, because you've developed that spiritual resilience. So, in today's chapter, the single word summary is identity. And the identity that is eternal for all of us is that we are spirit souls. And as spirit souls, we are meant to serve Krishna. This ID card is permanent. It does not matter. You could say, well, this applies only to Hindus. No, it applies to everybody. You can call yourself a Christian. You can call yourself a Muslim. You can call yourself an atheist. You can call yourself an agnostic. It doesn't matter. What you believe doesn't matter. Your faith also does not matter. Your faith does not change the fact that you are Atma. As Atma, you are meant to serve Krishna. So before we go to question and answers, I did have some polls. So let me see where the poll is. Yes. So we talked about the student earlier, right? What is the qualification of a student? So this actually is talking about dharma. So let me find the right one here. Very good. So give me 1 second. So in the meantime, as the poll comes up, do you have any questions in this chapter? So one more poll I'm searching. Yes, Aditi.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
I had this doubt that whenever we talk of getting attached to God, the first thing that comes up is getting detached to the material world.
Very nice, yes.
But the fact that even when we are getting attached to God, we cannot give up on our karma.
Correct.
So when we are doing our karma, especially when somebody is in Grihasthashram, there will be attachment to the people around you, the work you do, and everything.
Yes.
So what exactly does this detachment to the material world mean?
Excellent question. Because this is the crux of Grihastha life. So that's why I asked the question, is it possible for Arjuna to fight and also be a devotee of Krishna? And I think the answer was yes, correct? So is it possible for us to live a Grihastha life and still worship Krishna? Yes. So the concept of detachment only comes when you really make significant and speedy progress on the spiritual path. Most of us may not reach that stage very quickly. However, Krishna does not discount at all when you worship him. When you worship him, he makes all of the other necessary arrangements. So we need to understand what we mean by detachment. Detachment does not mean you stop loving your wife, your children, your family, because then you will not be able to continue in that relationship if you develop such a detachment. And if you have so much attachment to Krishna and so much detachment from your family, life will be very difficult for you. Krishna is not recommending that at all. Anyway, Krishna himself will say, this kind of extreme attachment to me is very rare. Everybody will not experience it. But that does not mean you are any less in Krishna's eyes. Anybody performing any bhakti, any devotional services for the pleasure of Krishna, Krishna accepts it. So if you are at all experiencing detachment while you're practicing bhakti yoga, one good way to look at it is that these souls have been sent into my life so that I may serve them for the pleasure of Krishna. That means you are no longer saying he is my husband and therefore I'm serving. You are saying, in this relationship, Krishna will be very happy if I serve my husband very nicely. So the thought process just changes a little bit. You are not doing it because it pleases you. You are doing it because it pleases Krishna. Does that make sense? Did that answer
Yes,
your
Mataji.
question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So detachment does not mean you stop loving your family. You have so much love for Krishna, you're ready to give up your family. No, that's not what Krishna is saying at all in the Bhagavad Gita. In the 18th chapter, Arjuna will ask a question of Krishna. In your opinion, which is better? Being a tyagi or renunciation completely? So Krishna says, you can be a grihastha and have the spirit of a sannyasi. So Krishna says, it is not necessary for us to take sannyas to experience detachment. In grahastha life itself, we can experience deep attachment to Krishna and still continue with our duties and responsibilities as a grahastha. So it is that spirit of renunciation and not the change of the color of your dress that Krishna is interested in. And here the spirit of renunciation is that I am doing everything for the pleasure of Krishna. So, but very intelligent question, very relevant question, very valid question. Thank you for asking that question. Yes, Vinay Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji, first of all, I am really thankful to you. You are addressing very nice. Within a short period, you are covering entire thing. But the thing is, from 54th to 72 shlokas, which is Siddha Pragnasya shlokas,
Yes.
that I want to hear if any chance, anytime. Is there any possibility that summarization from 54 to 72? Is there any possibility, Mataji? First question is that one. And second one is one beautiful shloka in between 70, I think. Apuryamanam machala pratishtam samudramapah pravishanti sarve yadvat kama sampravishan sarve sashanti kama apnoti sashanti apnoti nakama kami, some shloka that is there, Mataji. That I am generally every time I'm misunderstanding that shloka. Means can I get a correct answer, Mataji, for that one?
Yes, so let me just look at, is that the shloka where Krishna is asking, how can you have peace of mind? How can there be happiness if there's no peace of mind? Is that the shloka?
Yes, Mataji.
That's the shloka?
I think 70th, 770.
One second. We can take it up now.
If possible, time allows means you can.
Yeah, so let's look at the shloka. If this is the shloka you're referring to. So the 70th shloka says, a person who's not disturbed by incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers. Is that the shloka?
Yes, Mataji.
This is the one?
Yes, Mataji. This one.
Okay. So I'll explain this to you. In this particular shloka, so Krishna is saying, there are millions of rivers that flow into the oceans on a daily basis. But the ocean never overflows its banks. It doesn't breach its boundary. The ocean just simply keeps accepting water without itself getting disturbed. So similarly, Krishna is saying, the biggest challenge for us is our mind. Our mind is constantly recommending so many desires that we want to fulfill because it's been there from previous janmas, and certain things we have also cultivated in this janma. So Krishna is simply saying, using the analogy of the river flowing into the ocean, how the ocean is always still. Similarly, Krishna is saying, thousands and thousands of desires will come into your mind. Let your mind be still. It should not react to every single desire and chase every single desire. When the mind can be detached from desire, then you can achieve peace of mind.
That's what only, madam. Here I am because of some devotees only say initial stages we have to fulfill our small desires, then only your mind will be controlled, then it will listen to you for achieving the goals, like that. Some statements they used to give. In this scenario, I'm misunderstanding.
Okay. Definitely you have to fulfill some desires, right? Krishna and the acharyas also say we can never live without desire, because if you don't have a desire, you will not wake up, you will not get out of bed at all. You have to have a purpose, and purpose is driven by desire. The purpose can be material, the purpose can be spiritual. So it is the purpose that needs to change. And if you redirect your purpose to please Krishna, then you don't have to worry about anything else, because Krishna is anyway supplying everything to you. So Srila Prabhupada always says, we should not overextend ourselves in trying to earn money, in trying to accumulate a lot of material things, because whatever Krishna wanted you to have, he will give it to you anyway. A person who's meant to be a billionaire will get it anyway. They may think, oh, I have worked so hard, I've been so industrious, it's because of my brains I got all of this. I set up the company and I took it public. I went the IPO route. All of that is already predetermined. How much, what is predetermined? How much wealth you have, who is your married life partner. All of these is already determined before you even take birth, because of your past karma. So it is not, Krishna is not talking about negating your desire, because a human being can never live without desire. It is just that you have to acquire a higher taste. So yes, initially you have to satisfy your lower taste. Your lower taste is very simple things like I need food, I need water, I need shelter, I need clothing. Without that, how will you start doing worship of Krishna? So your basic necessities have to be met. And when your basic necessities are met, then you can explore the spiritual realm. Does that make sense?
Agree, Mataji. So here, if you satisfy one desire, means again another desire will come into the mind. Like that.
Like Medusa's head. You cut
yeah.
off one, another 10 comes. Like that.
Yes.
Yes.
That's true, Mataji. Yeah. I agree, madam. I agree, Mataji. Your statement is correct.
We have to mind our mind. We have to mind and monitor our desires.
True, Mataji.
Yeah, you have to monitor your desires. You cannot get carried away by it. So I'm at a stage in my life, when you are young and you're carefree, you don't really think about these things and you begin accumulating a lot of things. So I'm at a stage in my life now, I'm thinking, why did I waste my time accumulating so many things? Because now all I'm doing is dusting, cleaning, putting it in place, staring at it, not ever using it and putting it back in the cupboard. Correct? You may not be experiencing this now, but at some stage in life, you're going to get fed up and say, why did I accumulate so many things? Who for? I'm not going to take anything with me. What am I doing? So leading a simple life is ideal. It is ideal. But all of us may not be able to do that, because there may be so many other pressures on us from family, and expectations will be there. Correct? So you have to take it slowly.
Sure, Mataji. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you. Nice question.
Because I am forcefully trying to means avoiding so many desires. Here, every time from Jan to December, or else Mokshada Ekadashi to next Mokshada Ekadashi, or one birthday to another birthday. Forcefully, I am trying to means avoid such type of desires. But sometimes it is not possible to. I'm overriding that rule. So how can I stick that one? I want to learn from you, known people.
Actually, the very simple process. Chant the holy names of the Lord. Hear from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because unless you have developed such a taste for Krishna, you will not be able to give up your baser desires. When Krishna becomes more important to you than anything else in life, then your other desires will no longer be important. You know what I mean? So sometimes we think only if I get that car, I'll be happy. But the minute you sit and drive in the car, after 2 days, you've forgotten. Maybe 1 week you will be happy because you got a nice car. You know, it is smooth. It has that good looks, whatever it is, whatever the reasons behind your purchase of the car. How long will you enjoy and remember that car? You will not. After some time, you have forgotten. Because, like you rightly said, another desire has supplanted it. Till you come to the point where you say, none of that matters to me anymore. It doesn't mean you're giving up your life as a grihastha. It means you have reduced your wants. And that reduction of wants will happen naturally. It cannot be artificial.
That's true, Mataji. 100%.
It has to happen naturally. That will take time. You just have to keep performing bhakti yoga. And over a period of time, you will be able to disregard those desires because it's not important to you anymore. That's all.
Thank you, Mataji.
Until then, you cannot deny your desire. By the way, it is not a sin. So you think we don't have devotees who are ultra wealthy? I'm sure they are driving nice cars.
Yes,
but
Mataji.
If they are using those cars or their assets in the service of Krishna, then they're doing the right thing.
Yes, agree, Mataji. So, center of point is Krishna. Any act if you perform, center point is Krishna means then fulfilled our life.
Yes, very true. Yes. So Krishna is not saying, if Krishna himself has given you so much wealth, you are going to tell Krishna, no, why are you doing this? Krishna expects you to use your intelligence and use that wealth in his service. If you have the capacity and the intelligence to do it, then that's what you should do. Where did Krishna say, give up all the wealth? He himself has given you the wealth. He just expects you to use it wisely. He's not expecting you to have 20 crores in the bank and you living like a sannyasi. Okay. That is also not good because accumulation of wealth is also a sin. Did you know that?
Yes, Mataji.
Which means if you just save and do not use that wealth in the service of mankind, in the service of Krishna, that is also considered a sin.
Correct, Mataji.
So everything that Krishna gives you, use it in his service. Very simple. You need not complicate anything more than this. Just use everything in the service of Krishna, whatever you can. The rest Krishna will reveal to you over a period. Okay. All right. Aki, you have a question.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
I have just started my spiritual journey towards Krishna consciousness. I just want to ask that you were saying that जो हमारी फैमिली होती है उनसे आप नहीं भाग सकते हो बट अभी जो मेरे हस्बैंड है उनका इंटरेस्ट इन चीजों में नहीं है लाइक इफ आई से आई वांट टू वेयर द तुलसी माला एंड सो ऑन बट ही रिजेक्ट्स दैट ही डजंट लाइक दैट सो इज इट पॉसिबल दैट विदाउट wearing तुलसी माला I can follow the path towards Krishna consciousness?
Why not? Wearing a tulsi mala is just an external acceptance that you are a servant of Krishna. Does that mean you cannot have the mood of service to Krishna? I mean, many people wear a tulsi mala. Does that mean they are genuine servants of Krishna? I mean, I will accept them as a servant of Krishna, but that doesn't mean they are exhibiting that service attitude. So one is the external vision of acknowledging yourself as a devotee.
I'm not able to hear you actually.
You're able to hear me?
Yes, now I am able.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, see, there are certain things that we do externally, like wear a tilak, wear tulsi mala, wear a certain set of clothes as devotees, have a certain set of practices. But ultimately, Krishna is looking for your love. And that love, when you love someone, you will serve them.
Yes.
There can be no love if there is no service. Service means there is a relationship. You express your love to Krishna in so many different ways. You can chant, you can hear Hari Katha, you can go serve in the temple. All of this you can do without a kanti mala around your neck. One day, Krishna himself will make it possible for you to wear the kanti mala. Until then, that should not be the reason why you stop.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Bol, Hare Krishna. Very nice question. Thank you. Okay, I see some questions. So one question, because I said a few things are predetermined for you. For example, who your parents are predetermined. Who will come into your life as your spouse is also predetermined. So the question is, does that mean we cannot change destiny? Only Krishna can change your destiny. But for that to happen, you have to be a wonderful devotee of Krishna. Krishna can wipe out your Sanchipta karma, which is your total balance of papa and punya that is sitting in your account, of which you've only withdrawn a small percentages in this life. So let us say you have 100 points of papa and punya in your account. You've withdrawn only 1 point in this life. 99 points you have to wait to take birth again and again and again and again to experience it. So only bhakti to Krishna can wipe out your prarabdha karma and your sanchipta karma. Krishna can change your destiny in this life if you're surrendered. Yes, there are certain things that are predetermined, but your destiny can be changed if you're fully surrendered to Krishna. But remember, what Krishna wants for you and what you want for yourself may be completely different things. Just because you think I want A, and because of that, I'm going to go worship Krishna. Krishna may think A is not what I want for you. I want C for you. And he will give you C because he knows that C is better for your spiritual upliftment. And A may not be good for your spiritual upliftment. So in a devotee's life, Krishna takes control. He decides what's next for you. That is surrender, isn't it? Allowing the Lord to orchestrate your life. Correct. That is surrender. Where Krishna's decisions, whether externally it is good for you or not, you will accept it because you know Krishna knows the best for you. Okay. So I hope that answers your question. What is meant by having an ego connected with Krishna? False ego finds it very difficult to connect with Krishna. A fully surrendered soul finds it easy to connect to Krishna. So you have to be willing to give up I, me, and mine to surrender to Krishna. As long as you're carrying this concept of I, me, and mine, it will be difficult for you to connect to Krishna. So Chinmay, I hope that answers your question. Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes, Shweta.
So, yeah, this question is from the chapter. So, as you told that after death, the subtle body, which is mind and intelligence, as well as soul, both will go to another body based on their karmas. So, if then why can't we remember our past life memories if the mind goes? So that's my question.
उनको मालूम नौशाद का तो
ठीक
इधर वो गाड़ियों का पार्किंग है मैडम उधर खड़ा है
Okay, Hare Krishna. Sorry, there was somebody who stepped into the office here or something. So the question was, why Krishna does not allow us to remember what all we've done in our past life and therefore correct ourselves in this life. Is that your question?
Yes, Mother.
Yes? Okay. If you had to remember everything horrible that you've done over, say, 8 million births, or say 4 million births that you've had before, you may not be very motivated to do anything. So Krishna says in the 15th chapter that remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness come from me. So Krishna allows you to forget certain things so that you can have a fresh start. Imagine if you only hear negative things from your loved ones all day long, everything bad that you're doing. How motivated would you be to correct yourself? Would you be motivated? If the only thing that you hear is criticism, will you be motivated to change? Or will that put you in depression? Therefore, Krishna does not allow you to remember everything that you've done in the past. Whatever is necessary for you to remember, he will enable it at the right time. Whatever is necessary for you to forget, he has already enabled it for you. Krishna does not want you to get caught up in what were you in your previous life, what you did in your, 50 lifetimes ago. Focus on this life and how you can dedicate this life to loving Krishna. Because when you drive a car, which is bigger, the front windshield or the rear view mirror? Which is bigger? In order for you to drive, the front windshield is huge. The rear view mirror is like one tiny little thing. So looking ahead, looking forward is what is most important for us. We need not worry about what we've done in our prior lives. Because there's no point, we don't know what we did. So we don't even know all the horrible things we've done in this life and that we have forgotten. It does not matter to Krishna. What matters to Krishna is, are you sincere soul? Are you seeking Krishna? And are you ready to follow the instructions of the acharyas so that you can establish a relationship with him. That's all Krishna cares about. So please don't worry about your past life, even what you did in this life. Do not worry. Forgive yourself. Ask forgiveness from Krishna and be positive. Look ahead, look forward. Shweta Mataji, I hope that's okay.
Yes, Mataji, thank
you. Yeah. Krishna is very merciful and very forgiving. He is more forgiving than you are of yourself. But that doesn't mean we should take advantage of it. I'm just saying Krishna is very, very forgiving, very kind, very merciful. Even little bit of bhakti you do, he is just falling all over you. Okay. There is one more question, the hypothetical question. See, you can come up with n number of hypothetical questions. You should ask yourself, are these questions really relevant for my spiritual growth? The question is, what if I hang myself while I'm thinking about the Lord? Is that considered suicide? Yes. Because you couldn't possibly be thinking about the Lord while committing suicide. So it is suicide. Okay. Any other questions? It's not a legitimate way to lose your body. It's not an authorized way. So you could say, yeah, while this noose is going around my neck, let me think of Krishna. Even to think about Krishna at the time of death, Krishna has to enable you to think of him. You can't just say, okay, today, my last day, whatever it is I will do, I'll think of Krishna. It's not that easy. Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right. So what we'll do is I will post the theme for today in the WhatsApp group. You can try and answer that question the best you can. Okay. For a beginner, how can one start focus on chanting? Very simple. Join us 10 minutes early for these classes. We will chant all together, just at least one round. Just 10 minutes. So instead of 8 o'clock, if you join at 7:50, you can begin chanting along with us. That'll be the easiest way for a beginner to start chanting. So experience the effect of chanting for yourself, and then you yourself will relish chanting. Okay. Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much for joining me today. We will see you again tomorrow for chapter 3. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrindi ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Thank you very much, devotees. Any other questions I will tackle tomorrow? Yes. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to talk about the Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna.